Two of hip-hop's most powerful voices, but have you noticed they've barely acknowledged each other? No features, no Rock Nation deal, no Grammy stage moments. For two legends at the top, their silence speaks louder than words. Some say Jay-Z is guarding the throne. Others think Kendrick never wanted the cosign. But the truth? It's been in front of us this whole time. Jay-Z isn't just a rapper, he's a mogul. With Rock Nation, Tidal, and decades of industry power, he's often seen as the kingmaker of modern hip-hop. When an artist gets the Jay-Z cosign, it's more than a feature. It's access to elite stages, Grammy nods, and global branding. Think J. Cole, Rihanna, Kanye. But when Kendrick Lamar rose, Jay-Z stayed unusually quiet. No cosign, no real acknowledgement. Was this strategy, competition, or just indifference? For a genre built on mentorship and succession, Hov's silence raised eyebrows. Kendrick Lamar didn't wait for permission. From Section .80 to Good Kid, MAAD City, he built a reputation on storytelling, authenticity, and staying true to his Compton roots. He signed with Dr. Dre's Aftermath instead of Rock Nation, a decision that immediately drew comparisons. As Kendrick's career exploded, some wondered, was he rejecting the industry blueprint, or was Jay-Z simply not interested? Either way, Kendrick never chased the Hov cosign, and that choice shaped his independence. Back when Jay-Z launched Tidal, he brought every major artist under one banner: Beyoncé, Rihanna, Kanye, Nicki Minaj, but not Kendrick. At the time, Kendrick was dominating charts, but he was notably absent from the streaming platform's launch. Some saw this as a power move. Others thought it signaled a deeper division. Was Kendrick excluded on purpose, or did he turn it down? Either way, fans took notice. The elite circle didn't include K-Dot. In his iconic 2013 BET Cypher, Kendrick dropped aggressive bars that shook the rap game. And nothing's been the same since they dropped Control and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. While the bar didn't mention Jay-Z, the industry took it as a broader challenge. He called out the entire top tier, and Jay was sitting at the top. This verse confirmed Kendrick wasn't bowing to the hierarchy. Throughout his career, Jay-Z has endorsed the next generation with calculated precision. He called J. Cole a future legend, helped launch Rihanna's empire, and gave Kanye his first major boost. But when it came to Kendrick, there was no tweet, no Instagram post, not even a public mention for years. Fans began speculating, was Jay-Z avoiding giving Kendrick too much shine? Or did he see him as a threat to his legacy? When Kendrick Lamar swept the Grammys with To Pimp a Butterfly, it was clear he didn't need a gatekeeper. Critics praised the album as a masterpiece. Political, poetic, powerful. He wasn't just rapping, he was leading a movement. Yet even in the aftermath of his wins, there was no congratulatory post or acknowledgement from Jay-Z. Fans started asking, is Jay-Z ignoring Kendrick out of rivalry or respect? Either way, Kendrick was breaking ceilings alone. Jay-Z famously boycotted the Grammys in earlier years, citing racial bias and lack of recognition for black artists. When Kendrick began dominating the same institution Jay once rejected, it created a quiet contrast. Jay-Z returned to the Grammys only after Tidal was launched and the stakes were higher. Some speculate he didn't appreciate Kendrick embracing a system he had long protested. Others think it was just two artists with different approaches to power. Rock Nation is home to a who's who of modern stars: Rihanna, J. Cole, Megan Thee Stallion, DJ Khaled. But Kendrick never signed, or even entertained, any partnership. This choice only deepened fan theories. Was Kendrick distancing himself from Jay-Z's empire on purpose? Some say Kendrick valued independence above everything. Others believe Jay never extended the invite. Either way, this separation added mystery to their silent rivalry. In 2021, Jay-Z dropped a verse alongside Nipsey Hussle on What It Feels Like, where he rapped about legacy, betrayal, and gatekeeping. While it wasn't directly aimed at Kendrick, listeners drew parallels. The lyrics spoke of new leaders misusing platforms and ignoring their roots. Was this a warning to younger rappers, or just Hov reflecting on the state of the game? Either way, fans saw hidden shots, and Kendrick's name was often mentioned. Kendrick has spoken about Tupac, Dre, and Eminem, but rarely, if ever, has he discussed Jay-Z. For a rapper known for deep interviews and lyrical references, his silence is curious. Some see it as respect, not wanting to compare himself to a living legend. Others view it as strategy, keeping distance from someone who never endorsed him. Kendrick's decision to avoid naming Jay-Z adds to the mystique around their relationship. Jay-Z signed J. Cole early and positioned him as the next leader of lyrical rap. Roc Nation put everything behind Cole, his albums, tours, and image. Fans couldn't help but compare that support to what Kendrick never received. Was Cole the artist Jay-Z saw as his successor? If so, where did that leave Kendrick? This move made fans wonder if Jay was drawing a line, not just of business, but of legacy, choosing Cole and subtly excluding Kendrick. When Kendrick dropped his iconic verse on Big Sean's Control, calling out every top rapper by name, including J. Cole and Drake, he left one glaring omission: Jay-Z. Fans debated for weeks. Was Kendrick avoiding a clash with a legend? Or was the omission a deeper power play? It added fuel to the theory that Kendrick was navigating around Jay-Z intentionally, perhaps out of strategy, or to position himself on equal ground, without saying it directly. When Jay-Z launched Tidal, he pulled together artists like Beyoncé, Rihanna, Kanye, and J. Cole. Kendrick was noticeably absent. While his music later appeared on the platform, he never joined the artist-owner rollout. This raised eyebrows. Did Kendrick reject a behind-the-scenes invitation, or was he never asked to be part of Jay's elite circle? The absence was symbolic, showing that even in business, these two giants operated on totally different planes. Kendrick made history with Damn, when he became the first rapper to win a Pulitzer Prize. This cemented him not just as a rapper, but as an artist of cultural depth. Jay-Z had won many Grammys, but even he hadn't touched that level of academic and cultural recognition. Fans began placing Kendrick in a category that was once reserved only for icons like Jay. The shift in status was quiet but loud, and Jay had no public reaction. Jay-Z's verse on DJ Khaled's God did spark massive debate. Hav rapped about being the God of the game, the one who made millionaires out of others. Some bars sounded like subtle reminders that he built the blueprint, literally. Fans dissected every word, wondering if it was aimed at newer rap elites like Kendrick. Was Jay reclaiming his throne, or just marking his territory? Either way, the message was clear. Jay-Z was still watching the throne. In The Heart Part 5, Kendrick doesn't mention Jay-Z, but the themes cut deep into generational leadership and ego in hip-hop. He raps through the personas of legends like Kanye and Nipsey, implying a torch passing, but Jay-Z is left out. This omission stirred questions again. Is Kendrick rewriting the rap lineage? His message was clear. It's not just about power, but impact. And if Jay wasn't part of that story, was that intentional? Jay-Z's role in the music industry has shifted from artist to architect. He signs talent, controls streaming access, and moves behind the scenes with billionaire influence. For some fans, this makes him a gatekeeper, someone who decides who gets exposure. Kendrick never aligned himself under that system, choosing to thrive independently. To many, Jay's quiet control over the game may be part of why he's never endorsed Kendrick publicly. The respect was never earned his way. Kendrick's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers shocked fans expecting diss tracks or dominance. Instead, they got introspection, therapy, and emotional healing. This pivot away from traditional rap beef was praised as growth, but also read as distancing from hip-hop's hierarchy, one ruled by artists like Jay-Z. Rather than challenge Jay's throne directly, Kendrick seemed to build a new one entirely, rooted in vulnerability, not volume. It's a move no one saw coming. Whenever Jay-Z attends the Grammys, he arrives not just as an artist but as an institution, especially with Beyoncé beside him. The influence is clear. Industry figures gravitate to him, cameras stay focused, and the energy shifts. But there's always one artist notably absent from that inner circle: Kendrick. Despite his own wins and prestige, he's never part of that orbit. Fans have noticed. Is it by design or division? Kendrick's explosive return on Family Ties reminded everyone why he's feared lyrically. While he doesn't name names, his tone is confrontational. I'm not a trending topic, I'm a prophet. Fans interpreted it as a message to the entire rap elite, including Jay-Z. He was reclaiming his place without needing alliances or approval. That kind of independence echoed through the industry, and the silence from Jay's camp after that release, deafening. Throughout Kendrick's rise, Jay-Z has rarely, if ever, commented publicly on his artistry. No major co-signs, collaborations, or mentorship moves, just silence. For someone so vocal about other rising stars, Jay's omission is hard to ignore. Some say it's a calculated form of dismissal, a way to avoid legitimizing someone who could rival his legacy. Others argue it's simply indifference. Either way, Jay's silence speaks volumes, especially in a game where words are power. Kendrick's legendary BET Cypher performance wasn't just a lyrical showcase, it was a statement. With razor-sharp lines and aggressive delivery, he painted himself as the apex predator in hip-hop. While he never said Jay-Z's name, his claim to the crown felt personal. Fans instantly read it as a symbolic challenge to the old guard. It wasn't about direct beef, it was about showing dominance. And Kendrick didn't need anyone's permission to claim it. In 444, Jay-Z stepped into unfamiliar territory, raw honesty. He rapped about cheating, failure, and business betrayal. While the album wasn't aimed at Kendrick, its vulnerability competed with the emotional layers that Kendrick is known for. It felt like a subtle message. Jay can be deep too. But critics still praised Kendrick's emotional range as unmatched. Jay had reinvented himself, but Kendrick had already mastered that terrain, and audiences noticed the overlap. Kendrick's loyalty to Dr. Dre has shaped his career from day one. Dre guided his artistic vision, much like Jay did with Kanye or J. Cole. But Dre and Jay represent two different models of mentorship. Dre creates, Jay builds empires. Kendrick's rise under Dre was creative, raw, and rebellious. And by never aligning with Jay, Kendrick symbolically chose art over industry. That choice has defined how he's perceived, as the anti-establishment king. Jay-Z has curated massive events like Made in America, inviting artists like J. Cole, Travis Scott, and Nicki Minaj. Kendrick has rarely been a centerpiece. This fuels more speculation. Why exclude a generational talent? Was it a business decision or a strategic snub? By not placing Kendrick on these platforms, Jay reinforces the divide, one that fans feel but neither rapper publicly acknowledges. And that silence only makes the tension stronger. When Kendrick won the Pulitzer Prize for Damn, it sent shockwaves through the industry. This wasn't just another Grammy, it was literary-level recognition. And while Jay-Z had won countless awards, even the prestigious Songwriters Hall of Fame, he never touched something like this. Kendrick's win raised the question, is he building a legacy outside the rap game's traditional validation system? One that doesn't need cosigns, only content? The Pulitzer said yes, loudly. Jay-Z has built one of the most powerful portfolios in music history, from Rock Nation to Ace of Spades to his role with the NFL. His moves have reshaped what it means to be a hip-hop mogul. Kendrick's silence on this empire speaks volumes. While Kendrick raps about legacy and community, Jay plays chess on a global scale. But is all that power a distraction from art? Or has Jay moved past the rap throne entirely? Kendrick's verse on Big Sean's Control is hip-hop legend. He called out nearly every top rapper, except Jay-Z. The omission wasn't an oversight. Fans believe Kendrick intentionally dodged Jay, saving that battle for another level, or avoiding disrespect. Was it strategy, respect, or fear of awakening a silent giant? The mystery remains, but one thing's clear. Even in war, Kendrick chooses his opponents with surgical precision. Jay-Z rarely responds to jabs directly, but that doesn't mean he ignores them. His discography is filled with subtle shots at those who challenge him. Whether it's Drake, Nas, or Kanye, he finds a way to reassert his dominance. And in Kendrick's case, silence might be the ultimate strategy. By not responding, Jay retains control of the narrative. But fans are watching and they're wondering, how long can that silence last? Kendrick left TDE and launched PG Lang, a company shrouded in mystery, creativity, and independence. It marked a full break from traditional rap career paths. No label drama, no industry handcuffs, just pure vision. Kendrick's evolution from rapper to curator puts him in the same conversation as Jay, but with a different language, one rooted in purpose. While Jay built a kingdom, Kendrick's building a revolution. And the war between kings, it might not be loud, but it's real.